Hello everyone, welcome to another video. Now, my last video was about putting a pump connected internally to my skimmer box. Now, some of you guys were quite critical, but you offered some genuine and helpful advice in a nice way. The majority of you did, apart from one person, but I won't name that person. But generally speaking, you were quite helpful, so I'll go through some of the people. JDoFB said it was quite bizarre. Ramsey's DIY koi pond said I should really be mounting it on the outside. Tom Prendiville said something about excellent, best video around. Not sure if he was being sarcastic. Cat Blester, I would consider taking advice from all the comments made, mate, so certainly I'm doing that, mate. Budget pond keeping, could you explain the reason for coming off the skimmer back into the pond to a pump? Unbelievable, you're meant to have less objects in your pond to protect your fish. Sorry, koi. I want to touch on that point, and I've done a lot of research on in-ground ponds, and in general people are putting sharp stones in, they're putting pumps in, and it doesn't negatively affect the fish that much. So that's something to consider, you know. Martin's koi pond and garden, again, he's a good guy, and he was quite pleasant in his correspondence. He's saying, I don't understand, you've modified the retro bottom drain with a low profile smooth bend on it to protect your fish. Why consider having the pump in there that could harm, that they could hit? Again, very valued and fair enough comments to make. Koi with Paul, looks a bit like spaghetti. Could be. I hope you're not going to put koi in there, Jay Mister said. Scaly Pond Daz Shelton. Oh, my kudos for finding the most complicated way of plumbing skimmer. Yep, certainly. A big shout out to Lou Magro, the French KOInection, I think it's called. So thank you, Lou, for getting in touch, and we've had quite a few varied messages, and I just wanted to say a big thank you for willing to talk to me, because I don't know if you know this, but I did make a comment some months ago saying I think you should be filming in landscape mode rather than portrait mode on your phone, and I think she got a little bit upset over that. So if I did upset you a little bit, I do apologise, but I was only trying to suggest a better way of filming, that's all. But saying that, she sent me quite a lot of messages about the fact that pumps aren't that loud. So I did a bit of a test. I went into my bathroom and I filled the bath up, and I got the pump and I put it on, and I started listening to it closer, and I realised it's not that loud really. And she said that it's the air pump that's going to make the majority of the noise. Thankfully, I've built a small cupboard at the back of the pond where I will base the actual air pump, and it'll keep it a bit quieter because it's enclosed in a cupboard. So Lou Margot suggested that I should mount it on the outside as well. So let me see what she said. Yeah, same as mine, because I said my pond is partly dug in the ground. But can I ask if somebody has advised you to do it that way, because you fill in the pond? I would really suggest that you remove all this and make it really simple outside your pond. One pipe from the bottom of the skimmer to your pump, and then to a filter, and return to the pond. All you need is a pump on the floor, which will be below water level. The water coming down to the pump with the skimmer will automatically prime your pump. I think that's definitely going to be the case with the skimmer. Not so sure about if I was to put the pump on the outside, at that end, because that's the bottom end. that will go to the filter box that will be laying on the top. However, saying that, I've changed my mind. I'm big enough to admit I've made a mistake. Even though Aquascape ponds do tend to have lots of rocks and stones and pumps in the pond, you know, with no negative effect. But saying that, the pond is quite small, isn't it? And I want to utilise as much volume as possible in the pond. So what I've decided to do is change my mind. You've changed my mind, guys. So, you know, there you go. Being polite and offering advice, you know, can give people a change of view. And that's what the community is all about. It's all about, you know, sharing ideas. So what I've decided to do is I'm going to pretty much cut a bit more of the sticking out pipe that's in there, and I'm going to run the solid piece of pipe across, and then so the water will literally go from the pump, well, it'll draw water from the skimmer to the pump, push it through the pipe into the returns, and we'll make it as simple as we can, and I suspect it'd be a bit easier to clean as well if we did that as well. But let me just show you what I mean, and then you get a rough idea. So what I'm going to have to do is put a 90-degree bend on there, join it with some solid pipe that'll go across to that flange, and then it'll send water to the back and come out there, and the other one further down as a return. And I think that's how we'll do it. Right, guys, I just want to talk you through solvent welding pipe if you want to get it in a particular position. So what I've done here, I don't know if you can see it in the video, it's quite faint, but I put a black marker line there, and then when I put it on, it'll line up. So if you're short on time and you want to try and get pipe work solvent welded, this isn't a good way of lining it up so that it should be quite straight. So I've just glued that in place, so essentially we'll have water going into the skimmer towards the pump will push it through this pipe here, along through the inlet there, out a return that will push debris and there'll be a nice float for the fish here, and it'll go along there to that return as well that will push towards the bottom drain. So that's the idea anyway. Right, guys, I thought I'd just show you a little tip here. So obviously you can see my 90-degree elbow here with a hose tail, and I've got some flexible PVC strong pipe on there. Now it is quite tough to get off, so what you can do is get a heat gun, heat it up, and it should come off a lot easier than it went on, and there you go. That was quite relatively easy compared to trying to take it off when it's cold. Right, guys, I thought I'd just show you how it's set up, the actual skimmer. Now originally was going to have a pump on the inside drawing water from this pipe, from the skimmer obviously, but we're going to change that. So I'm going to cut that 90-degree, we're going to send a pipe off to a pump and then connect the inlet to the pump to the skimmer there with a 90-degree bend. Right, I've just cut that attachment there. So I'm just an important note, if you ever do something with some pipe work and you need to correct it or change it, what you can do is cut it and then sand it down. It does take a long time to sand down, especially if you're doing it by hand, but eventually you'll get that bit that I need to get off there and attach another 90-degree bend on there. Right, guys, so I've got rid of that ugly pipework that we had there. Now I'm contemplating using this 90, but I could use a 92-degree bend that will, you know, literally go to the pump. So essentially that's how it's going to be set up at the moment. So I'm just waiting for some parts to come and we'll get the external pump set up with the skimmer box. So I thought I'd just show you how the small pond's progressing. So that's the spillway, waterfall rocks. And obviously I must say the irises are doing quite well. Those irises that I planted along there to take up nutrients are doing quite well. So yeah, they're doing alright. Got more irises in the corner there that have been sheltered by this green bush, and the other plants there are doing alright as well. Still is a fair amount of algae in there, but I might get the hose and do a bit of a wash and see if that helps. So yeah, I thought you'd appreciate a look at the pond. Right, hi everyone. I thought it'd be really important to do a video telling you about capping pieces of wood that you're going to use on your pond. Now, if you've used any sort of stainer, you may have residue left on that could potentially leak into the pond. So it's really important that you sand down and get off as much as you can while retaining the colour and the look that you want it to be. Right, just to finish off guys, I'm just letting the wood, after I've sanded it down a little bit and cleaned it, weather in the rain. That's just to basically get rid of a lot of the residue after sanding down and cleaning. Thought I'd show you the small pond again. Put a new treatment of cloverleaf in, so it's looking a bit milky at the moment, but to be fair it does seem to be working, because the majority of the algae that I had infested in this top area, if you've seen one of the older videos, you can see that there's not a lot of algae growth in the filtration area. There's a little bit granted, but a lot of it just washes off with the hose pipe. We've still got our moss growing there. It doesn't seem to be affecting the moss that much, to be honest with you. So as you can see, that's how it looks. It does tend to clear up after a day or so. So yeah, I just need to clean out the filter at some point. I thought I'd just show you the filter. I don't think I've shown you the filter for some time. So if I just lift the lid up, then you guys can actually see. Right, that's the lid. So here is the Aquascape DIY spillway filter system. It's about 100 quid. Comes with a large bag and a small sponge. If you want to see the ins and outs of this particular filter system, I'll put a link in the description box if you want to have a look at it. But essentially that's the filter. Well, it's not a filter cover really, it's just electrics cover you could call it. So let's just open this up. It has a little latch there, if I can open it because of all these pipes in the way. So let's just open it. Open the door. So here we have Aqua Evolution 25 watt UV filter, some plugs for electrics. That's my air pump, 20-watt ponding 1 air pump, and that's how the pipes are connected to the actual UV. So if I close this door and we come round to this side, hidden, we have a ball valve that's here, and this is where we probably could connect our pump to this solid weld pipe. I could actually cut that and make it a bit smaller, and essentially we could have a pump outside here, and then obviously this actually would go into the actual filter box, and then obviously we'd have a pump in between pushing the water. So possibility is we could have our pump out here. So, you know, let me know in the comments what you think. Would that work? I know Margot's system goes over the top of her wall to a pump from the bottom drain, the retro bottom drain that is. I'm not sure how that works, but it sort of confounds me a little bit how the pump can draw water when it's not in the pond. But I just wanted to show you that area. So we have our debris netting here. I plan to put some more debris netting here just to keep the conifer tree out. When it's really windy, this does get in the pond, as you've seen in the previous video where it looked terrible, where I had to actually pull the liner out. Those of you that said the folds are quite problematic, I have actually tried to seal the folds as much as possible, but this is the best I could really get it. Because of the unique shape of the pond, it makes folding very, very problematic and difficult. Anyway, I just wanted to show you more in detail. So going back to what I said before, yes, I've decided to change due to you guys giving me some advice, and I thought what we'll do is we'll put a pump on there outside of the pond itself. So doing it like this gives me options, obviously. I could put a backy shower on there as well. We could use a splitter off the pump. Some of it goes into the pond and some of it goes to a backy shower. We could do it that way. I may even need to invest in a more expensive pump to do that, because my pumps are quite cheap really. They're only about £50. Jabo 5,500 litres per hour, and they're not what I would call super heavy duty, but saying that, the one in the pond here, over here if I show you, that's running the waterfall here, it's the same pump. It's been running for about a year, no problems. Yeah, look at that, I've got fish swimming around, exploring. Yeah, there's a lot of work to need to be done with landscaping. As you can see, it looks a right mess. You know, I've got my trees here. I might need to cut these trees down a little bit. I've got plum, apple and cherry and pear. Only ever had one apple and one pear, and there was some cherries growing but the birds nicked them. I've got this rhubarb plant that seems to go ballistic. As you can see, it's massive. I have been giving free samples out to work colleagues, so I might end up doing that again. I've got a blackberry tree here, but it always keeps leaning to the left. I'm not sure why. It's a bit annoying. Maybe because the rhubarb plant is taking all the sunlight, and this is the only way it can get the sunlight. So I'm going to have to do something with the rhubarb plant, I think. Maybe relocate it somewhere. Show you the rest of the trees and plants. as you can see. I don't know, this may not interest you guys, but I just want to show you the trees and the conifers and the plants that I've got growing around, you know. And essentially this was quite bare a year ago, and as you can see, it's come a long way since last year. The only problem I tend to get is weeds in between the flagstones there, so I may have to do something about them as well. We've got the Gandalf wizard there next to the holly tree, so I thought I'd just show you a little of the garden. There's a lot of landscaping work needs to be done. I've got these nice rocks that I may put some of these in the pond as well. Most of this is to go in the filter box though. And then these plants here will go into the filter box, essentially to do the same job as the bog filter over there, in a wetland filter. So that's it really, guys. Thought I'd just show you the garden as it stands. So again, thanks for commenting on the last video. There's much work still to be done. I'm just waiting for some supplies to turn up. And JIFFSTER Mike, I hope you enjoy the mug I sent you. I may send some more out to some other YouTubers who comment quite often, or I may make do a competition or something. But again, for those of you that are genuine interested in the stuff I do and do like my videos, I just want to say a big thank you for watching and being pleasant, because there are a few out there that are quite nasty and mean, and we call them trolls, and we always end up banning them or restricting their access or leaving comments that, you know, that most people wouldn't leave. So, you know, to those, I'm not interested in you guys. So if you don't want to be genuinely nice and interesting in terms of talking to each other and supporting each other, I'd rather you unsubscribe to my channel, because I only want people that are honest, kind, and are interested in the work I do, as I am in the various channels that I follow. So I just want to do a big shout out to Magro, the French connection. Check her YouTube channel out. She's got over 1,000 subscribers. Again, Lou, well done with that. I know it's hard to get 1,000 subscribers. And those of you who have been criticising my channel for having very few subscribers, I think you should know I have another YouTube channel that has over 3,000 subscribers. So I'm not bragging there, I'm just saying I do have a fair amount on other channels. So as I said, JIFFSTER again, he's a fantastic YouTuber. Please check him out, as well as Martyns garden and pond channel. I'll put links in the description box if you want to go and check those channels out. Those are quite supportive, friendly, kind people that I follow, and that's why I talk to them, and we share ideas. But again, if you're nice to me, I'll be nice to you. But I just wanted to show you where I'm at with the pond, and what I'm doing with the construction of the pergola. The pergola's pretty much been done and finished. The only thing I think I need to do is put another flange along the top there, do the same at that end, and then I think it's time to start filling the pond up, really. So keep tuned for another video, and thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Bye bye. So here is the Blagden Half Moon pond that I've got. I thought you'd appreciate a quick look, really. So hey Martin, I just thought I'd tell you quickly about something that I've got in here that you could use in your pond. Is I've got planter baskets. These are Blagden planter baskets where you can put plants in, and they do attach by like a hook, but you could screw them in onto your top pieces of wood on your pond. So basically I've got various grasses here, and a lot of irises. Irises seem to do the best for your pond. So if you've got a pond and you want to deal with ammonia, nitrites, get yourself irises. They deal with that brilliantly. So I've got some goldfish here. They seem quite friendly. Look, they are quite large actually. They're about 10 centimeters long. So there I've got a shabunken, standard goldfish there, another white one there, and I do have a fancy one there. I did lose one last year. I've also lost a normal orange goldfish as well due to gallbladder disease. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you this. This cost me about 350 quid if I remember correctly, and this was my first pond. But then I decided to build the smaller pond outside, and now we're on with the bigger pond. So they do say you go from small to medium to biggest when you have ponds, generally speaking. So let me just get some fish food, because these fish are always eating food, always. Look at them, can't stop eating. If you're wondering, I've had this about 2.5 years now. The pump has been going strong. Sometimes I do get a build-up of rubbish on there. You know, that means I need to clean it out, because it does restrict the flow on there. So sometimes I just need to clean that out, so we get the globe effect working properly. So that's the half moon pond. Thought I'd show you it. I know it's a bit of a mess, but until I get the backyard sorted out, I'm sort of prioritising what work needs to be done. It just seems to take forever to get anything finished and done. Anyway, there you go. That's my half moon Blagden pond that you can find in most garden centres. Just one thing before I go. Check out JIFFSTER's channel. I've sent him something in the post. Hopefully he'll show you what it is, and I hope he likes it and enjoys it, providing the company that I got to make the order does a good job. Anyway, see you later, have a nice day, and please remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. I would appreciate it, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.